Alright, so let's talk about fractions on a number line. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm solving number line problems is label the entire number line. No matter where it's asking you to find a fraction on the number line or a whole number, you label the whole thing, regardless of what. Or I'll take that number line and I'll turn it into a fraction strip. And I'll show you both ways as we go through both of these videos. Another thing I also do, if my number line is very long, like if it has 10 or 15 tick marks or something like that, I'm going to label my halves, my thirds, my fourths, or fifths if I need to. If I have a number line that has eighths on it, then I'm going to label my halves and my fourths. If I have a number line that has sixths or ninths on it, then I'm going to label my thirds on there. If I have a number line that's in 10, then I'm going to label my tenths. So let's look at our first example. Our first example is to find 3/4 on a number line. So the first thing I do is I know from here to here is one whole. This is, and so one thing I can do is I can turn this into a little fraction bar. I go through and I label that this is 0, this is 1/4, this is 2/4, this is 3/4. So that is one whole part of a number line. But this number line is split into two whole parts. So now I have 1 and I have 1/4. Then I have 1 and 2/4. Then I have 1 and 3/4. And if you want to, that you can label this 1 and 4/4, which would be still two wholes. Now, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for 3/4. So I see that 3/4 is right here. Boom. I'm done with that part of I'm done with that number line. And if I have another problem that happens to be on the same number line, now another thing I can do on this number line is I can also label my halves. That 1 and 2/4 is also 1/2. And 1 and 2/4 is also 1 and 1/2. So now let's look at our next example. Our next example says find 1 and 1/2 on the number line. Well, your number line is already labeled, so the only thing you have to do is circle. 1 and 1/2 is right there, or 1 and 2/4. So, like I said, label the whole number line or make it into a fraction bar like I did right here. Now, let's look at another example. Now, our example is find 4 and 2/3, and then our next example is find 5 and 2/6. First thing, label the number line. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to count my tick marks. This is 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know this number line is split into 6. So first thing I'm going to do is label 3 and 1/6, 3 and 2/6, or because this can also be split, so each 2/6 is also a third. So this is 3, 1/3. This is 3 and 3/6, or 3 1/2. This is 3 and 4/6, or 3 and 2/3. Because remember, every 4/6 you have 2/3. And then you have 3 and 5/6. Then you have 4, which is 3 and 6/6. So I'm still labeling. This is 4 and 1/6, 4 and 2/6, or 4 2/3. I mean 1/3. Still going through. I label my whole number line. 4 and 3/6, or 4 1/2. 4 and 4/6, or 4 and 2/3. Remember, for every 2/3 you have 4/6. Then we have 4 and 5/6. Then we have 4 6/6, or 5. Then here we have 5 1/6, 5 2/6, or 5 1/3. Then we have 5 3/6, or 5 1/2. 5 4/6, or 5 2/3. Then we have 5 5/6. This is kind of squeezed in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry about that. We'll look at, like I said, once we see a bigger number line, we'll make sure that we have plenty of space. I should have changed colors here. So now let's go through and let's work our examples. So first one says find 4 2/3. We'll switch colors. 4 2/3. Well, 4 2/3 is right here on our number line, and it makes it easier once you label the whole number line. Our next one, we need to find 5 2/6. Like I said, if you have your whole number line labeled, the rest of this is easy. It's cake. Then you just circle it, and then that's it. And that is the end of our lesson. This one was pretty long, but I wanted to work a couple of examples so you can see that we can have a number line going horizontally, or like on this last example, going vertically.